Holy Father Saint Francis is very special to the Church, not just to Franciscans, and he's a really amazing figure. We, as being a Franciscan, I don't mean to be prideful in the sense that that to say he's the greatest saint, that the Franciscan Order is the greatest order in the Church, but there's something special about what God did to Saint Francis and to the Franciscan Order. Probably more Franciscan saints than any other order, maybe. I don't know, maybe you can look at some of the monastic orders that don't all have as many canonized saints, but who knows, they may be more. But certainly the most canonized saints, and the richness of the Franciscan Order is very, very strong. Our Lord promised through St. Francis that the Franciscan Order would exist to the ends of the world, and you keep seeing new and more fresh Franciscan orders coming up in the Church every age, every decade maybe. The richness of St. Francis is just really unbelievable, and the saints, the beautiful saints, strong, very, very holy saints. Look at St. Pio, even in our time, St. Maximilian, just going all the way back to St. Francis. We have a fat book of Franciscan saints, which are not just the first order, but the Poor Clares, the third order, many Franciscan third order saints too. I was talking to my mother not recently. She's a third order Carmelite. She said, we don't have a third order Carmelite saint yet, but we're hoping to, and I'm hoping to be one myself. And I said, well, we have a big fat book of Franciscan third order saints. I'm not bragging about that. I'm just saying this is what God has done. And how do you explain it? Is St. Francis more holy than some Carmelite saints, St. Therese or whatever? Even if he is, that's what God did. There's nothing special about anybody. It's just what God is doing, God has done in the Church. And if you look at his life, he's a great saint because of his humility, because of his enormous love for Jesus. He had stigmata. He lived a detached life, but can't you say that of all the saints? All of the very, very, very great saints who have, been saints from their youth, perhaps. And why is St. Francis different? Whatever it is, God did it for the good of the Church. Not everybody's called to be Franciscans, and Franciscans certainly can't pride themselves in being a member of his order. It's just what we're called to do. But certainly we're here to celebrate this very great man who God made great. God did everything in him. Our Lady did everything in him. Our Lady calling him, the Franciscan saints say, is Our Lady who founded this order. We can see that in the founding in the Portiuncula, the Our Lady of the Angels Church, which St. Francis says himself, Our Lady had built the Franciscan Order and made it increase and made it holy. So Our Lady was there from the start, and it's no surprise why we have so many great Marian Franciscan saints. So St. Francis, the meek and humble man who copied Jesus. He's just an image of Jesus, another Jesus. He came around the year 1200. When's the world going to end? The year 3000, and so maybe he's in the middle of this time between Christ and the end of the world, or maybe the end of the world is the year 5000. Who knows? But he perhaps marks a certain middle point. Maybe there'll be another St. Francis type figure, another 1,000 years from now, who knows? St. Francis is another Christ-like figure. That's what it really is. St. Francis is a Christ-like figure. He copied Jesus, and down to the last detail, even his preaching. He went preaching and prayer just like Jesus. He tried to model himself on Jesus. Jesus was his all. He was totally consumed about the person of Jesus, what Jesus did, what he was like. He just totally absorbed our Lord and was conformed to the life of Jesus. And very much, I think, you underline one characteristic of St. Francis is really that, but also the negative, which was detachment from the world. And I think those two really need to go together. We can all learn from that, even if we can't copy St. Francis and his austerity, which scares me, scares probably other people. And it's hard to try to exactly do that. But he was detached from the world. His poverty shows that. His sacrifices, his penance, his austere penance. At least we can learn to detach ourselves from the world as much as we can, as strongly as we can, because it's so dangerous, especially today in the glitz and glitter of our times. And the glitz and the glitter and the people who live in the midst of that, they look to the religious today. They're looking to the religious today to get away from this mire, this entrapment of the world, and they really, really need us, and they need examples of this kind of detachment and penance, otherworldliness. And if we lose that, where are they going to find it? So St. Francis is that model for us. We need to really pray to him that we can be, copy him, be like him, and we can be, with the grace of God, we can do that. We can be faithful to our religious calling for the good of the world, which so greatly needs it and longs for it, and looks to us to give it to them. So ask St. Francis to help us to deepen that spirit of detachment and love for Jesus, and to persevere in it more and more strongly to the end of our life.
Miserere